So how do you know you have boundary issues as a homeschool mom? You hear me talk about boundaries as a life coach and a homeschool mentor. I've had my experiences with boundary issues, of course. And since I started homeschooling, I started a blog, loads of blog posts on that website, all about many things. But really in the beginning, it was about me trying to explain to myself and to the world why I was doing this beautiful, wonderful thing called homeschooling that nobody thought was beautiful and wonderful. They were looking at me wondering, why are you doing this thing? There's so many reasons against it. And I was in my head trying to come up with all the reasons that I should be proud that I am doing this homeschool thing. But I felt uncertain and insecure, not confident. So hence the blog posts, many blog posts. And now I see those discussions all the time on social media. And of course, I hear them in various ways inside coaching, but they're not always the typical expectations. They're not the typical conversations you think that people might be having about homeschooling. Like in my early days of homeschooling, there was always a discussion about the S question, socialization. But what about socialization? We would feel on guard as we were asked that question, or at least I did. But I know that boundary issues are bigger than just asking or questioning our homeschool choice and us getting defensive about it. I do think it's a boundary issue because it means we're not bolstered and confident within ourselves as we're making our choices. But I think there are other ways to know whether you have boundary issues as a homeschool mom. So of course, I think when you care too much about what other people think, that's a sign. It also matters if you feel compelled to homeschool in a certain way, that maybe your homeschool community is saying to you, there is just one right way to homeschool and you're not doing it, and you care about what they think. Or maybe when you homeschool, you're choosing a certain extracurricular activity that's different than what other people are doing. Maybe that's a sign that you're not comfortable choosing something that looks like it should possibly be an activity your child should choose. However, everybody else isn't doing it. So you're not confident in that. What about screen time? Your screen time. If you don't have enough eyeball-to-eyeball time with your kids, maybe you have a boundary issue. If you make decisions about pretty much anything based on what other people think, or if you have Groundhog Day conflicts with important people in your life and it's sapping your energy, that's a sign you have boundary issues. Or if you want to keep your kids happy. I know there's a baseline expectation that we're moms and we want to keep our kids happy or make our kids happy, but actually I would suggest to you that it's not always possible. Like it really is not always possible. Sometimes it's downright impossible, and I don't think it should be our goal. And when we're trying to do that, we might be getting all, enmeshed with the kids even, and that can be a sign that we are having a boundary issue. There are so many possible ways we could see boundary issues in pretty much anybody's life. I've written 9 typical boundary challenges that I see with homeschool moms. You'll see the link down below. And if you're curious, if you have boundary issues or if you want to overcome ones that you see in your life, you can check the boundary checklist down below as well. That will help get you started in exploring the things that are getting in your way. But I would love to see or hear what your thoughts are, what you see as a challenge that other people have in the homeschool community that reveals they probably have boundary issues. I'd like to hear your thoughts. Put it in the comments below.